The Endless Stare. Late one night, Rachel awoke with the unshakable feeling that she wasn't alone. She lay still, heart pounding, as the silence pressed in, so complete it felt unnatural. Then she heard a faint, irregular scratching from somewhere beyond her room. It seemed to crawl through the floorboards, a desperate, dragging sound that sent icy chills down her spine. Rachel tried to ignore it, thinking it might be her old house settling, but the scratching grew louder each night, moving closer. She noticed strange things as well. Her belongings weren't where she left them. Family photos tilted at odd angles, and some small items disappeared entirely. Then one morning she found muddy handprints smeared along her bed frame, though no one had been inside her room. One evening she decided she had to find the source. Armed with a flashlight, she tiptoed through her house, following the eerie noise as it moved from room to room. It led her to a narrow door she'd never noticed before, hidden behind a bookcase in her basement. She felt a wave of dread, but she couldn't turn back. Slowly, she opened the door and stepped inside, into complete darkness. Her flashlight flickered, casting weak light on the cramped space. The walls were lined with small, square openings, each just large enough for a head to fit through, and each one held a face blank, lifeless, with wide, unblinking eyes fixed directly on her. Their mouths were stretched open, frozen in eternal, soundless screams. Rachel stumbled back, horrified, but the flashlight suddenly flickered out. She heard a faint rustling, like 1,000 voices shifting. Her own voice broke the silence as she screamed, but no sound escaped her throat. As she scrambled toward the door, she felt something brush her leg, a cold hand reaching, pulling her back. The last thing she saw before everything went black was a face, her own, twisted in silent terror, staring back at her from one of the empty openings. And in the days that followed, the scratching continued, now with one more face watching, waiting in the endless dark.